Switch to targeting computer. Welcome to the SHP project, and this is the video of the SHP project. What does SHP stand for? Let me enlighten you, dear friends. SHP stands for self-harming pacifist. Whoa, that's a bit of a knockout title. Tell me about it. You see, it's based on my life. Basically, what I lived through, my experiences, what I've learned, what I went through in the pain aspect, and how I came through it in all its glory. Darth Vader once said, "If you only knew the power of the dark side." I know enough. I know that you killed him. He didn't say that bit. I added that bit. And he didn't even say that because I've taken it completely out of context. That is the madness of the mind. Yeah, the mind. We open it up. We're like a flower, you see. And the more sunshine we give our mind, the more it opens up. The sunshine is the love. So I'm here to discuss today in the SHP project video number, who knows, overwhelm. Do we all feel overwhelmed? I feel overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed sometimes having to do this because then I start thinking, what's the content going to be? Oh my God, no one's going to watch it. Oh my God, I don't know what to say. Oh my God, I can't remember the words that I've written and I'm going to have to make it up as I'm going along. Oh my God, it's so overwhelming. That's the overwhelm, man. And other things as well. Overwhelm is a choice. That is what I'm trying to convey. Overwhelm is a choice. What do I mean by that? Well, here we are. I have a book. Yes, I have books. I read from time to time. You say, because the best homework for a writer is to read lots. If you're a writer and you don't read, I'll let you into a little secret. You're not a writer. Okay. Ben Okri, he of the man who wrote a way of being free. And we turn to number 29, which minus 10 is 19. When we live with overwhelm orthodoxies, the eruptions within are greater. Then our dreams burst the banks of the acceptable. Overwhelm orthodoxies. What are those? That, my good friends, my watcher, my listener, is the overwhelm of stress. Stress is caused by anger, frustration, pain, need, want, materialism, capitalism, the feeling of not having enough. Stress is caused by poverty. Stress is caused by money. Stress is caused by relationships, by bullies, by abuse. Stress is evil, man. It's the evils of the world. What the Stoics would call the passions, the things that we can't control but we want to control, like relationships or money coming in and out of our lives, the need for wealth. It's the needs and the wants and the desires. The things that we can't control, which are our thoughts. We can control our reactions to our thoughts. We should be focusing on ourselves, focusing on a healthy happiness. Eudaimonia is what the Stoics call it. It's focusing on ourselves, and the search for wisdom is a path to happiness. Now, let's take, for instance, stress is caused by the manager who comes down on you and says, you've got to be more productive. We're not producing enough because the CEO at the top is getting it in the neck from the shareholders because their check had one less zero on it that year. And, they don't want to work for their money. So it's that sort of thing, It's that sort of thing. And the stress comes down to you. But it's not really your stress, is it? It's a choice you have. You either take it and you say, okay. I'll deal with that, man. I'll make sure I increase productivity. I don't need to see my family. I don't need to go out and have fun. I don't need to spend money in the shops and help the economy. I'll just stay here and work. And you don't need to pay me no more. That is the ridiculousness of overwhelm. And then he goes on to say, and I could go on about that, because actually it's the ridiculousness of the world, and the world is crumbling. You can see it. This reality that we've got is falling apart. It is falling apart. It's literally like a fabric ripping in the space-time continuum. It is an episode of Doctor Who. It's an episode of Star Trek. It's an episode of a Marvel movie with somebody in it. It is falling apart. You can see. Can you see the cracks? Cracks appearing? They're appearing. It's there. And people are starting to talk nonsense, thinking that they're talking sense. And they're not. It makes no sense. None of it. Don't pay anybody. Yeah, okay. But we won't work. It won't work. Won't get the economy going. Won't get the economy going. We're all turning to sludge. So, overwhelm orthodoxies, the eruptions within are greater. The eruptions within, that's the stress within you, isn't it? That's the anger, that's the fear, that's the need to do it, the guilt, the shame, all these desires that it's natural for human beings to feel, because we are emotional creatures. We're going to feel these things, yet we still have a choice. Do we not? We have a choice. All of the time we have a choice. They may be difficult choices sometimes, but there's a choice. Then our dreams burst the banks of the acceptable. Our dreams, our minds, our thoughts, what we attract, our manifestations, burst the banks of the acceptable. Who decides the acceptable? The masses. Who decides the acceptable? The constructors of the society. I read an interesting fact today. There are more billionaires than ever before. Why can't this come filtering down? Why can't it come filtering down and helping the people at the bottom of the barrel? Why can we not, if we can do that, if we can make more billionaires than ever before, we can end poverty easily with that. We can give the nurses a pay rise. We can give the teachers a pay rise. We can give the train drivers what they want, and then they won't have to go on strike. We can do all of that if we've got all these people up there. What are they doing? It's like, I used to read Asterix, and all the Romans in Asterix were these great big fat people chewing on, I don't know, probably, I think they were apples or grapes or peaches or something, because it was a kid's thing. I guess they drank wine. Actually, they drank wine. They did drink wine in this children's comic strip, and they were just these horrible, gluttonous sort of creatures of comfort who didn't want to do anything. Anytime they were asked to do something because Asterix was causing trouble, I can't be bothered. And that's how they were depicted. And you know what? Those comics were made when? 60s, maybe? We're talking 50 years ago. Those stories are based on people hundreds, thousands of years ago. The human race, ladies and gentlemen, is incapable of evolution. But we do still have a chance. We are capable of change. We always have a choice. The choices may be tricky ones sometimes. You can change your life. That was my presentation. Hey, why don't you subscribe? Why don't you do other things? Why don't you listen? Why don't you speak? Why don't you... That was a program in the 80s. Why don't you? Anyway, ciao for now.